The next process is estimate activity duration. Let's start with the overview. I hope you remember our example of preparing time of noodles and omelette. Once the activities are defined and sequenced, the next step is to estimate how long each activity will take. That's estimate activity duration. As the name implies, it's all about estimating the time required to do an activity. Watch out for the word estimate. It's only an estimation, but not the actual one. Let's look at the definition. Estimate activity duration is the process of estimating the number of work period needed to complete individual activities with the estimated resources. Just remember, these estimates are approximate number of work period or the activity duration to complete the activity. Key benefits. This process provides the amount of time each activity will take to complete. Wherever possible, the estimation should be done by the person who will be doing that activity. This is something again we discussed earlier. Or it should be done by the person or group on the project team who is most familiar with the activity. At the end of the process, you will get an idea how long each activity, the work package, will take to complete. By consolidating each work packages, you will come to know how much time the whole project will take to complete. Estimate activity duration is carried out throughout the project. But why? There are two reasons. One, there will be an approach change in the project always. You have to implement those changes. So you will get new set of activities. You should estimate them as well. At the beginning of the project, you may not know all the activities that to be carried out to complete the project. As the project progresses, you get to know more and more about an activity. Therefore, you may have to revisit those estimations. Of course, you cannot continue the project with incorrect estimates. The duration estimate is progressively elaborated. Again, this is something we are discussing from the beginning, and this process considers the quality and availability of input data. For example, for the design work, as more detailed and precise information are available, the accuracy and quality of the duration estimate will be better. The duration of an activity depends on the type of work, the type of resource, and the skill set. Other factors that may influence the duration estimates includes constraints imposed on the duration, effort involved, or the type of resources. For example, fixed duration, fixed effort of work, fixed number of resources. I'm sure you would have done all these in your projects, as well as the schedule network analysis technique used. While doing this estimation, you should also consider the constraints. Don't forget, when you do the estimation of an activity, you just don't do the estimation in terms of duration alone, but also you do the estimation for the number and the type of resources as well. Don't forget to document all the data and assumptions that is used and supported the duration estimation of an activity, and you know why. I hope you remember our earlier discussion. You may want to go back and check your notes. All right, the next one, let's talk about the law of diminishing returns. Let's see an example first. To paint a room, it will take 8 hours by one painter. By adding one more painter, do you think the work will be completed in 4 hours straight flat? That is in half of the time because we added one more resource, right? Definitely not. The proportion won't be linear. This is called as law of diminishing returns. The reason for non-linearity is due to various other elements such as coordination, management, waiting time, etc. Don't misunderstand this concept. Here, we are not discussing that adding more resources will reduce the productivity. No, definitely it will increase the productivity. But the increase will not be in linear fashion. That's the whole point. Don't forget the fact that by adding too many resources at the same time will further decrease the productivity because of knowledge transfer, learning curve, additional coordination, and other factors. But by bringing new latest technology will increase the productivity naturally, reduce the activity duration, and reduces the number of resources required. The next very interesting topic is student syndrome. What is student syndrome? If not all, at least most of the students start that preparation for the examination just few weeks prior to the examination date, right? The same thing happens in projects. Let's say an activity will take 5 days to complete. The work will start only on the third or fourth day with 100% effort. The initial 2-3 days of effort will be around 30 to 50%. Just like the students, the resource will put their full focus just before the target completion date. The other quite interesting principle is Parkinson's law. Time taken to complete a work depends on the time allocated. Looks interesting, right? For example, if an activity is estimated as 5 days, even if it gets completed on the third day, the resource won't come back and report to you that the work is completed. Rather, they will fill in their hours in that activity until the deadline reached. Why are we studying all this? Because while estimating the project activities, all these factors need to be considered to reach more accurate estimation. By the way, on the lighter note, when you prepare for the PMP examination, keep in mind all this and do a better planning. Alright, that wraps up the overview. Let's move to the ITTOs.